Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Sinusoid.com. They are your one-stop shop for everything instrument cable.
Sinusoid cables. They know how to party and they know how to make cables. You guys want to party? Hang out with Sinusoid. That's my recommendation right there. You want cool cables? Hang out with Sinusoid. That's also my recommendation. We're big fans of Sinusoid and have been for a long time and will continue to be forever and ever. For 100 years we will, because that's how long their guarantee is. This episode is also brought to you by Walrus Audio, makers of the ARP-87, the ARP-87. It's a delay.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it already, head on over to our YouTube channel and check out our demo of the ARP-87 delay from Walrus Audio. You're going to like it.
Yeah, we'll talk about the details later on in the episode. Hey, this is Ryan.
And this is Steve, and you're listening to 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
All right, we're back at it, and you nailed it, Steve. You got it this time.
I did.
Yeah.
I got it.
Good one. Anything new going on?
Yeah, we hit a statistical landmark.
We did.
Milestone.
A big old milestone. I never imagined we would get that kind of landmark milestone.
1 million YouTube views.
That's crazy.
It's kind of a longevity reward, I guess. In
we
some
haven't
ways.
been around that long.
Yeah, but we got a lot of videos.
We don't have that many videos.
Like 250? 200 and something.
Yeah, divide 1 million by
I
250.
know. It's still a lot.
It's crazy.
It's still a lot.
That's still crazy to me that we have that many. What is that? Like an average of like 4,000, 5,000 views a video?
Yeah, we got a few videos that like really blow it up.
Yeah, they overperform for sure.
Either way, very cool. It's a very fun number to see.
Yeah.
I first took notice of it when we were at like 650,000.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get there soon.
Well, I was looking at it for a while. I was like, oh, wow, we're like in the mid 900,000s right now. This is crazy. What's going to happen? I just never even thought about it before. Is it even that big of a deal? I don't know. I think for average,
I don't know either.
I think for average, well-performing YouTube channels, it's not that big of a deal.
It probably, well, yeah, you know, that we posted the picture of it and somebody goes, yeah, Bieber gets that in 24 hours.
Ezra was saying, yeah, like Gangnam Style has like 1 billion views on just one video. Let us know when you catch up. I was like, well, how many demo videos does he have? He's just got that one song, you know?
No, there was a second song. It was weird.
A follow-up song?
It wasn't worth it. All right. Also, no, we got a prototype in recently.
Well, as of recording this episode, we don't have it in yet, but I've already announced this product. It's the 5050. It's a drive pedal that I worked with Leon from Pelican NoiseWorks on.
Yep.
And it's got our branding on there. It's a 60 cycle hum pedal. And so we haven't even talked about this. Presumably the money that we make off of it is going back into the show or into our pockets.
What makes you think we're going to make any money off of it?
If we sell them, we're going to do something with the money. I don't know.
Yeah, so we're doing an initial run of 50 pedals, I think?
Somewhere around there. Inner Circle gets first dibs, obviously.
And we don't know what the price point's going to be yet. We haven't figured it out. We got to sit down with the math and kind of...
By the time this airs, we might have that figured out. I'm not sure. But the Inner Circle is going to get some hookups with this. Usually with merch, the Inner Circle gets it for free. This is like a product. It's more than merch. So what's going to happen is they're actually going to pay cost for it, what it costs us to have it produced.
Yep.
And then everyone else is just going to pay the normal price. We haven't even said what it does yet.
It's a dual DoD 250.
Basically, yeah.
Volume and tone on each channel. Is it stackable?
Yeah, it's stackable.
And it's got clipping options, right?
Yeah, it's got tone clipping. You can either go darker or brighter with it. I haven't even heard it in person yet as of recording this. I probably didn't get it in yesterday. Probably going to get it in tomorrow or the day after that. I don't know if I'll get around to squeezing out a demo before this episode airs.
Just do like a Facebook Live with it in the Facebook group.
Maybe. But I'm really excited about it. We talked about this, I want to say 5 months ago on the show, where we were talking about dual pedals dual drive pedals.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think the only dual pedal I'd ever want would be like two DoD 250s in the same box. Because I said that on the show, I got hit by probably a dozen different builders and people who were friends of builders. Like, hey, I'll build it. This guy will build it. And, no, just to any of them. But when Leon messaged me, I was like, I know for a fact that Leon gets like the sort of things that we like. We've already used his stuff, and it's already proven to be high quality, and it's clear that he really understands dirt sounds and how to tweak them in interesting ways. So it was an obvious choice for me to go with Leon. And he's just been really excited about this. I've been really excited. I probably spent way too much time working on the graphic design for it. I just kind of killed myself over it, but I'm really stoked to see this thing like go into production and hit the market. Even if we're making 50 of them and it can never sell them all, but I have a feeling that they're going to sell all right. We're going to price them pretty fairly, and it's going to be a cool thing. So be on the lookout for that, I guess. Anything else new you want to talk about?
That's it. Those were our two things. Those were our two topics.
Yeah. That's all we got. Let's wrap up the show. Later,
all right,
guys.
See ya.
Oh, we're just kidding. We're just a bunch of jokers over here.
We got gonna hit our first ad here. Where these are two ads, they are themed.
They are. Last week we had themed ads, and we have them again.
Just like last week, where our theme was furniture ads. This week's theme is also the word that starts with the letter F.
Yeah, it's the F word, Steve.
Yeah,
it's a good old regular F word.
This one
rhymes with duck.
This first one's a J. Tercer Alex Iora signature middle finger rare L Tri must have white black. J. Tercer Alex. Oh, it's not Iora. It's Alex Laura signature guitar. Apparently, he is the founder of L Tri and a South American superstar.
I have no idea, but I have seen these guitar bodies before. They were clearing them out on Guitar Fetish like a year or two ago. I was like, that's kind of silly and goofy. Like, I get it. A guitar that's making the middle finger. But what I didn't see with those GFS bodies was the neck and the headstock shape in particular. It's the headstock shape looks like a penis.
Yeah, I don't know why this says South American superstar. This dude's from Puebla, Mexico.
Well, he might be from Mexico, but he's famous in South America.
He's a distinguished Pueblan citizen and has been given the keys to Miami, as in Miami, Florida.
Really?
Yeah. And also has a statue in Guadalajara.
Sounds like a famous dude in the Spanish-speaking community.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're referred to everywhere else as...
So I get
as being a Mexican band. So maybe on top of just being like an insane guitar, the person who wrote this ad is also like ignorant and doesn't know the difference between South America and Mexico.
Yeah, they're racist.
Well, those are your words.
I'm kind of charmed by this guitar, but then also kind of confused by the concept. Like, I got the concept of the neck is the middle finger, and you're flipping the middle finger to anyone who sees you playing. This punk rock that's funny. But turning the headstock into a penis, I guess I kind of get it because there's a sexual connotation with the middle finger, but then it's like it's too literal in a way that's pushing, like you're using an abstraction for something literal. Like it's a weird crossover to me. I don't know. Am I taking this too far, Steve?
I don't think so.
I'm taking it too seriously?
I've been trying to justify this somehow by thinking like, oh well, maybe this is like a logo for something. Maybe this somehow fits in. I don't think it does.
I don't think this fits anywhere. Like, this is like only appropriate for the guy that it was made for. The price ain't bad though. I mean, it's J. Tercer though. I mean, $800 for a J. Tercer.
But it's a signature instrument.
Yeah.
Like, if you're into them,
you're never going to get this guitar elsewhere for $800.
Sure. Sure.
It's
it's rare.
It's an accessible price for a very novelty instrument.
It also explains why that body shape showed up on Guitar Fetish.
Oh, yeah. They couldn't sell them. So they had all these middle finger guitars sitting around. It's weird that the body was on there, but the neck wasn't. You'd think a bunch of those necks would have showed up. Maybe they just cut the penis tip off of the headstock, because there's plenty of room there to do that. Yeah. And just did like a flat edge on it to clear them out. Interesting guitar, though, and I'm excited to have found out the backstory behind it.
Yeah. All right. The second on our feature of words that start with the letter F is a Gibson Les Paul Studio that I suddenly cannot find.
The title on it is I Effin' Love You. I don't remember who posted this or where I saw it. I can't give credit to the person, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it just says I Effin' Love You. I'm looking to sell for $500 or trade my 07 Gibson Les Paul Studio Vintage Mahogany. Offers the Gibson's Vintage Mahogany Les Paul offers real luster tone at a price, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, let's get to the good stuff. The guitar is all original and in great condition, except for the front, where someone's crazy ex scratched a message of love. It has been set with tens and low action.
Someone's crazy ex in air quotes? Come on, dude. Just like it was your crazy ex, right? Yeah. Like you wouldn't know if it was a crazy ex unless you knew which person it was.
So the problem here, these are, from what I've heard, these are, if you can get one that's been like set up well, they're really good guitars.
Oh, of course.
I've played some of these where like the neck was just very sharp. But these actually came with the Burstbucker Pro pickups. So it's actually considered a nicer pickup than the Gibson Les Paul Studio model that was out at the same time.
Ah, interesting.
I think these were $699 or $799 new, something like that. So $500 to $600 is what I would expect to pay for one in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Let alone one that says I effing love you etched into it. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
It's not the worst thing that could ever be etched into a guitar. I think we've seen a lot worse on this show.
I will say, like
at least it's a coherent sentence, and like if you were playing a show and your audience is reading that, you could see that message getting them hyped.
I would say maybe at $400, I think about it. I think about at least seeing this and trying to decide if I think I can sand this out without completely mangling it.
This is a good candidate for a refin, for sure. Like refin experimenting. Like get in there, sand it really good, and then like give it a new stain or something like that, or like have someone, spray the top.
Yeah, you could go in and sand the entire face of this guitar, and then
or this is a good punk rock band starter. Just put stickers on it.
There you go. There you go.
But like I said,
maybe you can get those stickers that Cole Duke found. The Tom DeLonge starter
pack. Mentioning an ad that we're not even going to discuss on this show. There's an ad that Cole Duke found for a pack of stickers to match the stickers that are on Tom DeLonge's guitar. Yeah, it's all the stickers
you need. Airwalk, Gorilla Biscuits, Descendants, Op Ivy, Arnett sunglasses. 10-foot pole, Screeching Weasel.
It's the
Vandals,
the 1997 starter pack.
Pretty much.
Now we're gonna have to reference that ad in the photos. I
already got it covered.
Okay, there you go. So the price is all wrong on this for $500. I think I would be interested under $350. Like if I could get it $325, I think I'd be tempted by this if it was local.
Mm-hmm.
Where is La Habra?
It's up in LA somewhere.
All right, let's tackle the topic.
Yeah, this week we're going to finally talk about the Walrus Audio ARP-87, a little more in depth. Of course, like I said, we have a YouTube video of it, so if you'd rather just watch that and read the captions, then you can probably skip ahead a few minutes.
Yeah, I just thought I'd kind of go through what I think is neat about it. First of all, it's a delay pedal.
Yeah.
That's cool, right? But there's things about it that are kind of different to me. The really glaring thing about the ARP-87 is it doesn't have a time knob for 3 of the 4 settings. It's got a digital delay setting, an analog setting, and a lo-fi setting, and a slapback setting. So the slapback setting is the only setting that has a time knob on it.
Interesting.
The other settings is purely controlled by tap tempo. And then you have a knob for subdivisions. And when you're in the slaps delay setting, the subdivision knob turns into your time knob.
Right.
Which makes sense. What do you think about a pedal that doesn't have a time knob for most of its delay settings?
The delay pedals that I have that have tap, I use it.
Right.
So I think that, I mean, to me, that makes sense. Obviously, I realize that sounds like so stupid. Like the pedals I have that have tap tempo, I use it.
Right.
But like, if my DD5 is on my board, I'm not using it without tapping something. But then I use other delays without tap all the time. So I do think it's interesting that I guess it's only in slapback mode because it's what? Digital, analog, lo-fi, slapback?
Yeah.
Are those the 4 settings?
Yeah.
So digital, yeah, I'd probably want to use tap tempo. But lo-fi and analog, I don't know that I necessarily want tap tempo all the time for that. Now, I haven't played the ARP-87 yet.
Right.
I'm looking forward to getting some time with it.
Sure.
But I haven't had a chance yet to really sit down with it. So maybe that's a function that I'd be like, oh, yeah, this makes sense.
I've used it live already, and I didn't miss having a time knob on it. And because it's a digital delay pedal, even though it's got those other settings, but they're like modeled. But it's digital in the way where like even if it had a time knob, it wouldn't rack and make spaceship sounds.
Right.
Like if you change the tap tempo in the middle of a long delay, it just kind of cuts it up funny instead of doing a pitch shift on it.
Right.
So I feel like with that design, I don't miss having a time knob at all, because if it could make spaceship sounds, then I would demand a time knob.
Yeah.
But it's not that kind of delay, so it doesn't bother me that it's not there, which is interesting. I've never been like presented with this quandary before where I've been like, man, a delay pedal without a time knob. That's so weird to me, but it works. And it makes sense because that's how people play with delay pedals now.
Yeah.
Like that's just how most people use it. And also I messed with it today and I figured out that I can connect it to the Walrus Monument because it has a tap out.
Oh.
So you can bridge the taps and sync them. And I'm assuming you can bridge taps with other tap-enabled pedals that have tap-outs.
That's interesting.
So that's fun. I was having a lot of fun. And then you can set different divisions on it, so you can have a faster division on the
of course.
tremolo versus the delay. But yeah, it's a really interesting pedal. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It has a bunch of other controls. It has a tone control for your repeats. Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting that it doesn't go all the way wet, like your dry signal is in there untouched the entire time, and the mix control or the volume control just brings your delays up to the same level as your dry. A lot of interesting design choices on it, but then like it works. Like I used the thing live on Sunday, and it was like always on, and I was super happy with it. And I just can see myself getting a ton of use out of this pedal. I don't know. I'm still processing it. A lot of interesting design decisions with this thing. But then it sounds really good and it works. I'm just like kind of scratching my head and like wondering like if the way I've thought about delay pedals is, in flux now.
I remember using it at NAMM, and I'm sure they made some tweaks on it, but my thought on it at the time was just like, I think it's going to be a really cool entry into the compact delay market. And, somebody on one of the forums a couple weeks ago was like, my Line 6 Echo Parks going out. I don't want to get a pedal with an external tap tempo. My preference would just be to get another Echo Park, but I know like if I buy a used one, it's, I'm taking that chance that the actuator could wear out again.
Right.
So what are my options for delays with built-in tap? And basically you've got the Echo Park, the JHS Pink Panther that just came out,
Right.
The Alexander History Lesson,
Okay.
the Boss DD7, DD6, and the Digitech Digidelay, but all of those are ones where you hold down the pedal and then it goes into tap mode and then you tap.
The EHX Canyon has tap, and you don't have to hold in, but when you're tapping, it turns the pedal on and off as you're tapping, which is weird.
Oh, yeah, that's really weird.
I've been having a weird experience with the Canyon where, like, it sounds good when I'm playing alone, but then in a live mix, like, I have a lot of trouble dialing it in.
That's weird.
It just doesn't fit right in the mix, I don't think. But then the ARP just works.
Yeah,
and I can't explain what it is about one and another where they don't work. It just works for some reason. The other one just doesn't work.
Yeah, I told the guy, I was like, look, like just wait like another week. The ARP-87's coming out. Like there's going to be a demo on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Did I mention my YouTube channel has over 1 million views?
1 million. I mean, come on.
Yeah. 1.0 million.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do a extra demo here soon, because I've just been impressed with the last couple pedals that Walrus has sent me. Like, they have become like mainstays on my board. The Monument and the Iron Horse version 2, and now the ARP. Like, they just sit right in the mix where I need a pedal to be.
Yeah.
I need to do a demo that's just all Walrus pedals. I was even messing with the Contraband recently, which is their one knob fuzz.
Right.
And I was always kind of like, one knob. It sounds cool, but how much, adjustment am I missing out on? And I've been playing it a lot lately. And like, it just sounds right. And yeah, it's one knob, but then it has a tone switch, bright or dark. What's the other control that's missing? Gain? I can control that with my guitar's volume if I really want. And if I'm honest, I've never run a fuzz with the gain less than all the way down.
I like, I think fuzz is one pedal or one class of pedal where volume, like, as long as the volume has a decent range, having volume with like just a set gain level like makes sense.
It does. Like,
or if you really want 2 gain levels, like just you have like a switch or something.
I'm not going to turn the gain down on fuzzes. I turn them up every time. I've just been kind of fanboying out over Walrus lately, which is interesting because I've had a bunch of Walrus pedals around for a while and I've always been like, these are great, but then I don't always populate my board with them.
Right.
And suddenly I've got 3 and 4 Walrus pedals on my board at a time now, and it's just they're making sense to me all of a sudden. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me to say considering I get paid to demo them. All right, let's jump into the next ad.
Yeah, this was sent in by
who sent it, Steve?
Just kidding. This was sent in by Jamie Davis. This was found on his local Nashville group. This is 4 guitars, 2 electric, 3 or 3/4 child size, dark electric $30, blue $20, wood acoustic $15, black $7.
Yeah, these guitars are good for a 3/4 of a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Only XL me by phone. No IMs. Phone number. I should probably take that phone number down.
Whoops.
30, 20, 15. We usually leave the phone numbers in, whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
30, 20, 15, 5, all for $60. So the first thing I'll say is, so the first issue here is, there There's only pictures of... Oh, there's +6. So maybe there are pictures of the rest of the guitars.
But there's 2 pictures right off the bat that don't make any sense, and it makes me think that the guy accidentally posted the wrong pictures from his camera roll.
Well, the thing I don't understand about this is now that I'm looking closer at it, the picture in because this is a Facebook ad, the profile that posted it doesn't even match the picture of the dude, but it does match the name. So
yeah, the driver's license doesn't match the other picture either. Like, who's this person?
Well, that just looks like an old picture. Do you have any idea?
By the way, there's a picture of a guy's driver's license in the ad with his driver's license number.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, so the version that we'll post up, like, we usually leave phone numbers in for ads.
Just because who cares?
But, like, we're taking this. We're going to take all that other information that you can use to steal somebody's identity.
Yeah, this guy puts it all.
Why would you put
there.
your driver's license on a Facebook buy sell trade?
And there's also a picture of some dude standing with a cardboard cutout of some lady. Like, who's that supposed to be?
I have no idea who that lady is.
Some blonde lady in like a dress.
This is in Tennessee. For some reason, my gut said Lori Morgan. Not that means anything to you.
I don't know who that is.
She was a singer. I think maybe she was most known for that song, Something in Red. Did she do that song?
I don't know. But anyways, this is actually...
Something in Red. You know that song? I'm looking for Something in Red.
This is actually an ad for 6 guitars.
Yeah. The first 2 pictures are not guitars.
No, 4 guitars.
4 guitars.
4 guitars. 2 electric and then 2 acoustic guitars. The 2 that we have pictures for are first acts. So I'm assuming the other 2 are first act as well, or something similar. But for $60, 4 guitars... I don't know. That's worth a gamble.
Yeah, at least the 2 electric guitars are first act.
They're kind of the cool looking ones
too. But you kind of like what you're getting in there for. If you're looking for stuff to like rebuild, mess around with,
smashers,
smash, retire, whatever, firewood,
parts buckets.
Actually, if you looked at these as parts buckets and you're able to get a few decent parts off of it.
Get some tuners. Get the bridges on these they're hard Strat bridges. They're probably gonna be fine. Pickups, pots.
Yeah.
Strap pegs,
neck plates.
Yeah, all that
you'll
sort
probably
of stuff.
get $60 worth of hardware off of these.
Yeah, and then turn the rest into like a beautiful lamp or like a coffee table.
Definitely a first act coffee table.
Referencing our last episode. So yeah, the price isn't wrong at all. The price is great and fun.
It's just confusion over like why
did he post these very personal photos in a Facebook ad? It's almost like Facebook grabbed. But why does he have a picture of his driver's license or anyone's driver's license on Facebook? That is literally how you get your identity stolen. Like, you are begging for it.
Maybe he stole that identity.
Hey, maybe.
And he's like, hey, guys.
Who wants to buy an identity? Oh, man. Yeah, I feel bad for that guy. Or maybe he's brilliant in some way that we just don't understand.
We just don't know.
All right, let's jump on to this next thing. We might need to review this for a little bit before we even talk about it.
Nah, we can get straight into it.
So basically, there's an article here from the Music Trades Online. It is an online magazine for people who are in the music instrument business, I'm assuming. But I think John Cusack posted this on his personal Facebook group or in a group that I was in, and I screen grabbed it. And it's about electroharmonics.
Yeah.
Basically saying that they aren't going to do direct business with Amazon anymore. For quite a few reasons. What do you think about that, Steve?
I think it's an interesting choice by them. I can't disagree with their reasoning. So basically what they're saying is they sell... so Amazon, the way Amazon works, Amazon has stuff that they sell, right?
Yeah, there's a store online.
But Amazon also acts as a third-party seller.
Like a middleman.
For a lot of other companies where basically you pay... Amazon to host your storefront.
Right.
So what EHX was doing is EHX was selling to Amazon. Amazon was an EHX dealer.
Yeah.
And the issue that they ran into that Mike Matthews is saying, like, okay, buy Amazon, is that Amazon's policies would change very frequently.
Uh-huh.
And as a builder, it would like frustrate them, one, to always have to keep up with these policies. The other thing that was frustrating, it sounds like, for them was that they were active in trying to find other dealers that were selling below map. Now, that's already a problem in itself.
It's a big problem.
And there are retailers that do this all the time, and sometimes they find creative ways around it by saying, like, oh, buy the demo version of this pedal. We only have like 3 of them. But it's like the same 3 demo pedals like every month.
Yeah, yeah.
It just always seems a little weird. So they don't have the price, so they're not technically violating MAP, but you know,
we have a little bit of a behind-the-scene view with gear companies now. I've had conversations with people, and there are sketchy things that happen with retailers and, you know, MAP pricing and whatnot. There are companies that are out there right now that are online retailers who may be selling through Amazon or not, selling directly through their sites or other places, that will come up with new fictitious business names.
Yeah.
And sell their inventory below map.
Yep.
But then the builders will be able to like look at the product and see like the serial numbers or see other information and be like, huh, funny. Yeah, that pedal went out with an order to this company and now they're selling through a different online retailer.
Yeah. No, like what Ryan's describing is like 100% on, where like we literally were in a conversation with the builder where he was like, this store that's selling these 4 pedals, they posted the serial number. Those were limited edition exclusive pedals.
Right.
I traced the serial numbers. They never sold for the company that I sent them to. Like, this company's just like transferring it to like an off brand, like an off subsidiary, subsidiary.
They came up with a different store name on Reverb, and now they're like trying to sell.
So this is a thing where the problem with this, of course, is retailers set up minimum advertised pricing. The reason for this is so they don't outcompete themselves. Yeah. So if you buy direct from Earthquaker, a pedal might cost you like $140. Well, if you buy that Earthquaker pedal from anyone else, it's going to cost you $140. The difference is that when you buy direct from Earthquaker versus whatever store, if you buy direct from Earthquaker, Earthquaker's getting all of that $140.
Right.
If you're buying from another shop, that shop is getting a cut of that money.
Sometimes the cut is significant.
Sometimes that cut's significant. So sometimes, like if you're buying a pedal for, again, $140, that maybe like $60 of that is going to the retailer, and the other $80 ends up with the actual builder.
Big cut sometimes.
And sometimes like you don't have a choice. Sometimes, you know, it's tough. I know people, this has been a big criticism of Strymon, not to get too far off topic, that like you order something from Strymon and it takes like a week to ship, and they ship ground and all this stuff. But if you buy it from, you know, retailer X and they have it in stock, they're going to ship same day, or they're going to ship next day, and they're going to ship priority. So you're going to get it. Right. Like if you order on a Monday, you're guaranteed to have it on a Friday. Right, so you can use it the following, you know, weekend for your gig. Yeah. Whereas if you buy it direct, you might be...
Well, if it's Strymon, you're going to use it Sunday at church.
Sure, whatever. I didn't want to say that, but now you mentioned. So all this to say that there's this really like crazy retail game going on. But Amazon has the resources to constantly be checking minimum advertised pricing on any of their products that they have minimum advertised pricing deals with. And then what apparently they're doing, per this article, is they are going in and they are they're either finding stores that they host that are alias stores that are advertising below map and then adjusting their own prices of that, or they're just like Googling it or whatever. But basically
they have an algorithm or something.
So again, like here's the situation: EHX is selling gosh, I don't know their prices offhand. They're selling a pedal for $150. I don't know what
Right.
pedal. Through Amazon. A third-party retailer comes in with an untraceable name, or at least not a not easily traceable name,
Right.
and is selling the same pedal for $130. So Amazon automatically drops its price, says, well, the minimum advertised price isn't what we agreed to. It's this other price that this other store is. Drops the price faster than EHX can react to it and figure out like
What's going on?
who's jacking us, basically.
I mean, and it's like a huge temptation for these like third party sellers. Be like you mentioned earlier, like like if a pedal's 140, like the original manufacturer might only get 80 out of that when they sell through a different store. Like the store is going to take $60 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's a big cut. And that store is looking at like, if I'm any bit cheaper than any other store, then I'm going to get all the sales and I'm still going to make a profit. So it's a huge temptation to be the company that is selling for $5 cheaper than MAP. But then that completely screws everyone else, and it throws off the entire reason to sell to third-party stores anyways.
And there's other issues where if Amazon is fulfilling all of the orders for all of the companies, then the stock gets mixed, so there's no way to trace it.
Yeah.
There's other issues where if Amazon drops their price, then, for example, like I don't know, it probably wouldn't affect like a company the size of Sweetwater, but Sweetwater could go back to EHX and say, "What the hell? Amazon's selling for $20 less than us. Like our price, like $150 is supposed to be minimum advertised price.
Yeah. No,
why is Amazon doing $150?
It screws everyone all the way up the food chain when someone goes below MAP.
Apparently, Amazon also has like a return policy where.
Yeah.
Their return policy is very gracious, but the way it works is when you get a return from Electro-Harmonix, they send you an RMA, and then your pedal goes straight to Electro-Harmonix. When you do a return with Amazon, Amazon sends the return label then the pedal goes to Amazon, and then that goes to EHX or whatever, but on a return, Amazon is charging EHX
for the return shipping.
Yeah, so
it's like a double shipping bill. Yeah, and then like if you return something to EHX, they ask you like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's going on? How can we fix it?" You return something through Amazon, I bet it just shows up at their door and they have no idea what's going on.
So apparently, the final straw, according to this article, and this was on Music Trades Online. Was that Amazon was selling through Amazon UK. And the way these dealer networks typically work is if you have exclusive rights to a territory, then you have it. So kind of an interesting where I saw this recently was the Wang's amps.
Oh, you mean Wang's?
Wang's amps, whatever. Gosh, man, just because I try to like drop a little Chinese on you. So the guy, Darren, is the guy he's Wong's Amps USA.
Right.
He was actually basically the global non-buying dealer, from what I understand. So his territory wasn't like his brand was Wong's Amps USA, but it wasn't just his territory wasn't the USA. His territory was basically like all over the place.
Sure.
But he recently put out like a few weeks ago that Bayang had struck a deal with a UK distributor for at least the Mini and the Mini 1 and the Mini 5. So he wasn't going to be able to sell those amps at least in the UK. I'm not sure if that extended to all of Europe. But that's territory loss, and that's the way these deals work. That like typically you set up dealer networks, and when you set up networks, if it's a US network, then you kind of just have like a free for all sometimes. But for smaller companies or for specific companies, like you set up things that are specific. So this was basically sounds like this was set up where Amazon UK, like in order to sell on Amazon UK, Amazon had to get permission or was supposed to get permission from EHX, which they didn't do. They just transferred inventory and went for it. So basically, with all of this pile of issues, EHX says we're pulling out of Amazon. and we're not going to, or at least we're not going to support dealers who sell on Amazon. We don't want to deal with this anymore. So I think that's really interesting, but that kind of ties into like another question that somebody asked this week, which was about whether or not big companies are becoming irrelevant.
Oh yeah, you wanted to feed into this. Here we go.
Are these big companies kind of and the examples that they gave were Boss, Fender. This was Chad Dingler on the Facebook group. He mentioned Boss, Fender, and Gibson specifically, and whether or not they are losing relevancy. And we kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago when we talked about not what kills brands. Actually, I guess it was almost a month ago now. Guitar is dying. We talked about that Washington Post article. And I think this Amazon decision for EHX and whatever other companies decide to do, relevancy all comes down to market connection. So for EHX to take the hit and say, like, we're not going to sell on Amazon anymore, that probably will hurt them in the short run, but it also gives them the opportunity to build up stronger connections with their remaining dealers.
Of course.
And in turn, like, maybe those dealers put, out of gratitude, out of whatever, like out of being like, hey, you know what? You dropped Amazon, so that should help us out. So we're going to put your product on our front page.
Right.
Maybe not musician's friend is.
Well, maybe it just makes it more enticing to buy. It's like, these are going to sell more since, only, dedicated guitar stores are going to carry them.
Right.
And like, it'll be harder to get it on Amazon. So it's like, we know that these will move easier here. So we'll order a bigger order this time or things like that.
So I know there's been a lot of talk in different gear groups about like, oh, how does Fender survive? Especially I hear Fender a lot because, I hear Gibson a lot too, just because of various missteps, but also with Fender, the Fender Elite guitars are now like $1,700, $1,800, $1,900, something like that.
Yeah.
The professional series, I think, is like $1,400. So there's definitely a lot of conversation about like, well, I can get a Danocaster for like $2,000.
Right.
Why would
the gap is closing in between?
Why would I pay $1,500 for a Fender when I can get Danocaster?
Why would you
for like $2,000 or whatever?
Just go buy a Titan, guys. buy a Coward Titan. It starts at $1,300. It's way better than any Fender guitar I've ever played.
So there's this idea like, why are you going to do these things? But that relevancy is all about like, I hate to say it, like it's about staying cool.
Sure.
And whatever that looks like. Relevancy, the biggest problem for big brands is there's always that assumption out the gate of like, this is just marketing.
Right.
I will say the Boss YouTube advertisement for the MS3?
Uh-huh.
Hilarious.
Super good.
You know which one I'm talking about? With Bo Banton. Have you seen the Bo Banton?
I'm not sure. What happens in it?
It's Bo Banton. Oh, dude.
No, but what happens in it?
I don't know. It's Bo Banton, and he's got like 1,000.
And waits?
He's got like 1,000 pedals. It's a rig run through on the Boss channel.
Oh, okay.
He's got like this giant pedal board, and he's walking you through it, and then it's like, oh, well, what about the MS3? You should just get that instead.
Oh, okay.
Good old Bo Banton.
I see.
Anyway, so I think companies can do things that, if they are authentic, they can reestablish relevancy from a marketing perspective.
Sure.
And I say authentic. No marketing is authentic.
No, of course not.
It's all gimmick in one way or another.
Unless it's marketing right here on 60 Cycle Home, the Guitar Podcast.
Well, like in terms of like, if we're making a video, we're trying to do something that's like has an entertainment factor.
Right. Of course.
We're trying to do something that for us, I guess for us as a non-brand, we're so small, we're not a brand, right? That it's going to be like closer to real. But by the time you get up to like at least the Fenders and the Gibsons, like, and even Boss, like, even though I don't think it's really this way, like the expectation is that when you see a video put out by them that's like funny, it was programmed to be funny. That there were a bunch of suits in an office going like, what would be funny?
Suits can't make anything funny.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Kidding me?
Like their formula
if you
is...
see something funny online in a video, on TV, in a movie, if you see something funny that made you laugh, it's because there's some dude in the room who was a rebel.
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
Pushed it through because the suits don't want to let anything funny through. That's
what I'm saying. So I'm very much paraphrasing it, but on Guitar Nerds, when Matt Knight talked about this video, the basic short version was, I know this guy Joe, just give me an afternoon and a camera and like we'll make something funny.
Exactly.
And it's hilarious.
You know, it's funny, like years ago when, you know, all this boutique stuff was coming out and people had like kind of this like sour grapes against Boss. Like, oh, Boss pedals, who would buy those anymore?
Right.
The big company Boss, so who's, you know, you going to go buy a distortion pedal, whatever. But Boss is a legit brand. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, they're a big brand. Like, I mean, like, they still consider themselves like a family company.
Yeah.
And once you get like a behind the scenes look of like their kind of like corporate structure, you realize there's really not that much going on, and it's really only a couple offices.
Well, and I think that's kind of the tough thing for them. I think the RV 500 and they did the RV 500 and what was the other one? The other 500.
Well, they've got the DD 500 and they've got the modulation 500 for MS 500. I forget it's a modulation pedal.
Who wrote this scene?
But they are obviously big enough to have the resources to get like these grand scale kind of designs done that, you know, are basically computer pedals.
MD 500 is the modulation. So you got the MD, the DD 500,
and the RV
500 now. And that's something that people have asked for a long time.
They're still like, they still consider themselves like a family brand.
Yeah,
you know, like there's, you know, everyone who works for the company knows the names of everyone else in the company. You probably would be surprised that the size of the company is not that much different from like an Earthquaker devices or something like that. Like, I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if their employee count was in a similar range.
It's definitely smaller than, I think it's smaller than you think. It's probably bigger than Earthquaker, but it's smaller than most people think.
I'm sure it's bigger than Earthquaker, but I think that it's going to be smaller than most people assume. Yeah. Like, you think like Boss Roland, and you're like, oh, these people must have like, this company must have like, you know, 1,000 employees or something like that. I really don't think it does.
Yeah. So again, that's kind of my thoughts on relevancy. Fender's distancing themselves. I mean, they're making a product that a lot of people think is no longer like the top dog on the market for the price.
Sure. Well, Fender's strong point is making like kind of weird takes on their classics right now. You know, I think that's where it is, and coming out with, you know, weird finishes and weird like pickup loadouts and things like that. Like, coming up with like unique stuff is kind of their strong point right now. If you want a super good Strat or super good Telly, there's so many other options out there. But if you want a Squier Supersonic, where else are you going to get that?
Right. You're not. So yeah, that's.
I don't know
if you have any thoughts. I realize I've kind of gone off for the last 5 minutes.
That's fine. Longer than 5 minutes, but that's fine. I was just letting you go, do your thing. Steve's peeves, right?
I wasn't even, man. I got to get my mic set up at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to start recording.
I need to get you that lighting equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what's left? We got one more ad.
One more ad. This is a stupid black guitar. I found this.
You found this?
Found this in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was doing some Craigslist tourism.
Nice.
This is a really stupid guitar, which at some point 20 years ago I put a pentagram sticker on. Clearly, you're not buying this for how it sounds, because it sounds bad. However, it looks hilarious and it's cheap. So what do you have to lose? The action is good and the neck is straight and it stays in tune really well. So it's a good guitar to play on. It just needs basically all new electronics, and cosmetically it is severely lacking. There were some holes and scratches that were covered with black nail polish. If you want me to string/intonate, it'll be $60. Comes without strings otherwise. This is a Gremlin guitar. The brand apparently is Gremlin.
It kind of looks like it has a Washburny sort of thing going on. I wouldn't be surprised if it came out of the same factory.
It's pretty weird looking.
It looks super budget. It looks like 90s budget.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he said he got it about 20 years ago, so that wouldn't fit the 90s.
But the description's funny. The title's funny. $40 might be worth a gamble.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a black guitar with a pentagram on it.
It's not just a black guitar, Ryan. It's a stupid black guitar.
It's a hardtail super strat concept with a humbucker in an interesting position, volume and tone. Yep. I don't know. It was just fun to read, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to read it. All right, big thanks to our sponsors this week, Walrus Audio. If you haven't yet, why haven't you watched our demo of the ARP-87?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Go watch it. It's a fun pedal. I actually did a really fun thing with the demo concept. It's themed after, like, you know when you start playing a new video game?
Yeah.
And it gives you like especially like it's themed after like a space fighter.
Right.
So you're playing a space fighter video game and a character comes on and is like, I'm going to tell you how to calibrate your controls here and teach you how to fly this dang thing. And like the first 2 missions are all you just learning how to use it.
Yeah.
So I kind of theme it after that part of a video game.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're going to like it. I've been trying to figure out, because I'm still editing it right now.
Why am I looking forward to it? In theory, I've already watched it.
I know, right? I'm still editing it right now. I'm trying to figure out some jokes to work into it. So,
all right.
We got some time.
Also, thanks to our other sponsor, Sinusoid.com, Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture.
By this time that you're hearing this episode, I've already been to Summer NAMM, and I have interesting things to say about that.
Are you going to get some content there?
I'm going to try my best.
Okay, cool.
And I've been held up in, well, not held up, I've been put up in in an Airbnb by Sinusoid, so I'm very thankful to those guys for helping me out. I also spent a night with Grant Wilson from Beginner NYC.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming all my plans like fell through.
Yeah.
Like I am recording this a good week or so before this episode airs, so who knows?
I was thinking about like, can we stall out this app? And then I realized that you're gone next week, so no option.
Yeah.
And then this week's song was sent by Joey Chamblee. Chamblee? We don't really know.
Chamblee?
Joey
Chamblee?
Says, here's some songs from a band I was in about 10 years ago. It was a 4-piece drum, bass, electric, and acoustic guitar, and vocals. Band name was Moses and Carl, claiming punk country as the genre.
I like it.
He played a Telly into a PV Bandit on some songs and a Vox AC30 on others. Pedals were pretty pedestrian. Ibanez TS9 Turbo, a vintage Ibanez Sonic distortion, a Boss Super Chorus, wah, maybe a DL4 DD3 in there. We're going to play the track called Wichita. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Later.
It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave while you're ahead. It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave here while you can. Showed up at my buddy's house, we're playing Jackson trips. Opened up with Nick Liddy, 79. I tried the straight and narrow, laid them hookers down. When I reached out for my money, this is what they say. It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave while you're ahead. It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave here while you can. Find you think safe there at me. Think when I laid out my soul I'd find some inner peace. All I hear up in my head are crickets It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave while you're ahead. It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave here while you can. It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave while you're ahead. It's a short trip to heaven, son, you better leave while you can. Someone, come on down and say the price is right. Someone, come on down and say it, I'm alright. Someone, God, you know it's like a fever. Someone, come on down and say it, I'm alright.